Hey y'all, it's Dr. Shamanda. Welcome back to my channel. Y'all, this is my workout outfit, so if you see a little stomach, that's why. Anyway, y'all, welcome back to my channel. I am a licensed mental health and addictions therapist here in North Carolina. And I specialize with working with high achieving women who want to heal their relationship with money, but also who struggle with like codependency, people pleasing, setting those boundaries. Maybe they're dealing with some life transitions, things of that sort. But on this channel, we talk about the whole intersection between mental health and money, okay? And I share my own personal experiences with money and all that good stuff. So I'm not above anybody. I'm still learning too. But guess what? I'm not an expert. I'm not a financial expert. I'm a mental health expert, but not a financial expert. I am not a financial planner, none of that good stuff. I am sharing for the next 28 days specifically money education, right? Around certain topics specifically or specific to mental health and money. All right, guys, so welcome to day 14 and happy Valentine's Day if you celebrate. Happy Love Day. Anyway, we're going to talk about security, but not that kind of security. We are talking today about what financial security really means. And in these videos, y'all, I try to keep them less than 10 minutes. So if you haven't already, go back and check out day 1 through 13. That'll be like a little Valentine's gift for me. Thank you. I appreciate it in advance. Anyway, y'all, let's get into it. So many people think that financial security is like this specific number, right? We think that you have to hit a certain number in your savings account, hit a certain salary milestone, or even being completely debt free. Maybe even have a certain amount in your investment accounts to retire early. Y'all know I used to be part of the FIRE movement. I don't think I'm necessarily part of it anymore, but like I used to really go hard, like, oh, I need to hit this amount and then, blah, blah, blah. So for a lot of people, myself included, financial security is all about the numbers. But what if I told you it's not? It's not, right? There's an emotional side to it, literally. Because there are so many people who have all the money, bank accounts full, baby, savings accounts full, cars paid off, house mortgage paid off, student loans, what is that? Like, they are good. But they still don't feel financially secure. Why? Because financial security has nothing to do with the numbers. And honestly, I didn't believe that for a long time. I really didn't. Until I started understanding that even when I would hit certain milestones financially, I would still feel very anxious, very scared, very nervous, right? Even depressed sometimes. Because it's like, when is this ever going to end? It's like it's never enough. Like, I'm still hitting these next goals, like the what is that? What do you call it? Like the threshold keeps moving, right? The goal, they call it like a pole or whatever. It keeps moving up. You know what I mean? And we got to understand like where's that coming from. And so, security is contextual, right? So just have to understand that and what that means for you. And again, that's deeper work that you want to work with your therapist and your coach on. You know what I'm saying? All right, number 2 is that income is not the same as stability, okay? I understand this very much, and I'm sure you can understand this, but there are so many people who have really high salaries and incomes, but they still don't feel stable. They still feel like they can hit or have 6 figures, right, as their revenue amount for each year or their salary for each year, but they still feel very unstable. So maybe that is because of how they earn their money, right? Maybe they're an entrepreneur, and so they're hitting 6 figures or multiple 6 figures every year, but it's coming in different amounts. Or even if you work a 9 to 5 and you get that steady regular paycheck, maybe there's some level of insecurity and instability in your job, your role, because maybe what's going on in the world? Layoffs are hitting everywhere. So you still feel like, yes, you're getting that paycheck, but you don't know when it's going to stop. You don't know when it's going to end. So just like income is not the same as stability. It doesn't equal stability for us, okay? Number 3, I wanted to talk about how security is predictability, right? So in order to kind of help manage the anxiety around the financial security piece or that aspect of it, we want to kind of know our baseline expenses, right? We want to know what we need to pay every month. What's due? You know you got to pay your mortgage. You know you need to pay your car payment if you still have a car payment. You know you have student loans coming. You know you got to buy groceries, right? Maybe twice a month or every week, whatever. You also want to know your savings rate. Like, how much can you reasonably put aside every paycheck or every month towards your savings account, right? And then also having a plan in case something happens, right? It's called a plan for disruption. So what if you do experience a layoff? What if you do experience a dip in revenue in your business? What if you do need to take time off unexpectedly for a health issue or family emergency? So how can you manage those things? So one way to help, because we know that like financial security is not a real thing technically, then we know we need to plan, right? We need to plan for certain things. We need to put certain things in place. We need to know our numbers, okay? Now, the fourth thing I want to mention is that emotional regulation matters, right? This is my area right here. This is where I am an expert in, because as a therapist, that's what I do, is I help my clients regulate their nervous systems. And I do this myself, y'all. I told you, y'all know my story. If you don't know, check out all my videos. This is like a whole diary on this channel. The anxiety that can come up whenever we're talking about money, it can be very debilitating. So one of the things that we have to do is learn how to manage our nervous system. Now, the first thought you might have is that like, oh, I only get anxious when I don't have enough. That's not necessarily always true. Sometimes you get super anxious and overwhelmed and stressed when you start bringing in a lot, like, wait, is this for me? Can I manage this? Like, am I going to mess this up? Am I going to lose it all? Some feelings of self-worth and value might come up, right? So how do you manage those feelings? Well, that's where the emotional regulation comes in, and that comes through learning and applying specific type of techniques to help you cope with those anxieties. So deep breathing, mindfulness, right? Thought stopping, affirmations, visualization. There's so many techniques, and you can obviously look at this stuff, Google this stuff if you wanted to, or chat GPT, whatever, right? But working one-on-one with a therapist is going to be so helpful with actually really understanding which of those works best for you, and doing those things in the session or with your therapist, or if you have a mindset coach that has a background, maybe like me, you know what I'm saying, in therapy, that can really do a deeper dive into this, not just talking about it, not just giving you a list of coping skills. I'm talking about literally doing this with you, walking you through it, and helping you identify what your triggers are. Like, it's so deep, y'all. It's so deep. But we have to get the emotional piece down, right? Regulating your nervous system is so important. And then last thing I wanted to say is that real security comes from having margin, which is room in your budget, having that room. And then also agency, which is being able to make choices. So when we can make choices, we have more power when it comes to our finances. And that's really where the real financial security comes from. All right, guys, that is it for this video. If you like this video, comment, subscribe, share, and I will see you guys in day 15 on this 28-day money education challenge. If you're looking for a therapist in North Carolina, I'm here. If you're looking for a coach, if you're outside of North Carolina, I'm here as well. Check out my website in the description, and I will see you guys for day 15. Bye.